Hey everyone, and welcome back to the live Decoder.
Have you ever wondered why you sometimes make decisions that just don't make sense? Or why do your beliefs seem so rigid, even in the face of new information? What if I told you that your own brain, in its effort to be efficient, often plays tricks on you? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of cognitive biases, the hidden mental shortcuts that shape our perception, judgments, and decisions, often without us even realizing it. What are cognitive biases? Think of your brain as a supercomputer. It processes an incredible amount of information every second. To cope with this overload and make quick decisions, it develops mental shortcuts, or heuristics. For the most part, these shortcuts are incredibly useful. They allow us to navigate the world without constantly overthinking every single detail. However, sometimes these shortcuts go awry. They lead to systematic errors in thinking, creating what we call cognitive biases. Now here's the thing. These aren't flaws in your intelligence. They're inherent parts of human psychology shared by all of us. And understanding them, that's the first step to becoming a more rational, insightful thinker.
Bias 1. Confirmation bias. Let's start with one of the most pervasive biases, confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek out, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs or hypotheses. We unconsciously filter out anything that contradicts what we already think. Now, let me give you some examples that'll probably make you go, "Oh wow, I do that."
Example 1. Social media echo chambers. Think about your social media feeds right now. If you lean politically left, you likely see more content supporting left-leaning views, and vice versa. You might even actively follow accounts that align with your perspective and unfollow those that challenge it. The algorithm, in its effort to show you what you like, reinforces this, creating an echo chamber where your existing beliefs are constantly validated and alternative viewpoints are rarely encountered. Example 2. Health decisions. Let's say you believe a certain supplement is crucial for your health. You'll probably be more likely to remember positive anecdotes about it, dismiss scientific studies that show no benefit, and actively seek out articles or testimonials that support your belief. Familiar? But wait, there's more. Ever notice how when you're considering buying a particular car, you suddenly start seeing that exact model everywhere? That's confirmation bias working with selective attention. Confirmation bias makes it harder to learn, adapt, and change our minds because we're constantly looking for evidence that says, "See, I told you so." Bias 2. Next up, we have anchoring bias. This is when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information offered, the anchor, when making decisions, even if that information is completely irrelevant. It's literally anchoring our subsequent judgments. Example 1. Pricing and negotiation. Imagine you're buying a used car. The seller lists it for $20,000. Even if the car is only worth $15,000, that initial $20,000 anchor might make you think that $18,000 is a great deal, when in reality, it's still overpriced. The initial high number pulls your perception upwards. This is exactly why salespeople often start with a high price. Sneaky, right? Example 2. Salary negotiations. In a job interview, if the employer offers a low initial salary, your counteroffer might be anchored to that low number, preventing you from asking for what you truly deserve. Example 3. First impressions. When you meet someone new, their very first statement or action can act as an anchor, heavily influencing your overall perception of them, even if later information completely contradicts it. Here's a crazy example. Researchers had people write down the last 2 digits of their social security number, then ask them to bid on items in an auction. People with higher numbers consistently bid higher amounts. The random numbers literally anchored their willingness to pay. Anchoring bias can significantly impact financial decisions, negotiations, and even how we judge people.
Our third bias for today is the availability heuristic. This is a mental shortcut where we rely on immediate examples that come to mind when evaluating a specific topic, concept, method, or decision. If an event or memory is easily available in our minds, we tend to believe it happens more frequently or is more important than it actually is. Example 1. Fear of flying versus driving. After a highly publicized plane crash, many people become afraid to fly, even though, statistically, driving is far more dangerous. Plane crashes are dramatic and widely reported, making them available in our memory, while countless car accidents receive less media attention. The vivid, scary images stick with us. Example 2. Entrepreneurial success. We often hear inspiring stories of wildly successful entrepreneurs who dropped out of college. These stories are exciting and memorable, leading some to believe that dropping out is a common path to success, while overlooking the vast majority who fail or never achieve that level of fame. The readily available success stories skew our perception of probability. Example 3. Crime rates. If local news frequently reports on violent crime, you might overestimate the actual crime rate in your area, even if statistics show a decrease. The vivid reports make crime seem more prevalent than it really is. Here's another wild one. After the movie Jaws came out, shark attack fears skyrocketed, even though you're more likely to be struck by lightning than attacked by a shark. The movie made shark attacks incredibly available in people's minds. The availability heuristic can lead us to make irrational choices based on vivid but not necessarily representative information. Why do these matter and how to decode them? So why is understanding these biases so important? Because they silently influence our everyday lives, from the news we consume and the products we buy to the relationships we form and the decisions that shape our future. They can lead to misunderstandings, poor investments, and missed opportunities. But here's the good news. Once you can decode these biases, you gain a powerful tool for critical thinking. Step 1. Awareness. Simply knowing these biases exist is the biggest step. Recognize that your brain can trick you. It's not personal, it's just how we're wired. Step 2. Seek diverse information. Actively look for information that challenges your existing beliefs. Read articles from different perspectives, talk to people with opposing viewpoints, and listen openly. I know, it's uncomfortable, but that's where the growth happens.
Step 3. Question your first impressions. Before making a decision based on an initial offer or a readily available example, pause and ask yourself, is there other information I should consider? Is this initial number or vivid memory distorting my judgment? Step 4. Think in probabilities. Try to think beyond individual stories and consider the broader statistical picture. That dramatic news story might be an outlier, not the norm. Bonus step, the 24-hour rule. For big decisions, sleep on it. What seems urgent today often looks very different tomorrow morning. By making these small shifts in your thinking, you can start to break free from the invisible chains of cognitive biases and make more deliberate, informed choices. Conclusion and call to action. Unlocking the secrets of your own mind is a journey, and cognitive biases are just one piece of the puzzle. By understanding how these mental shortcuts work, you're not just smarter,
You're becoming a better decision maker, a more empathetic listener, and a more critical observer of the world around you. What cognitive biases have you noticed in your own life or in the people around you? I'd love to hear your stories. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the live Decoder for more deep dives into the human mind. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video where we'll be decoding even more fascinating aspects of psychology. Thanks for watching, and remember, awareness is the first step to freedom. I'll see you next time.